I feel you.
GNT, right back at it, episode 122. Hey, look, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. I want my peoples to go ahead and start flooding the airways right now. It's time for us to get into it. Episode 122. Welcome back, my peoples. Welcome back to episode 122 of GNT Sportstalk. We have a lot to discuss, and I got my main man with me for this ride of the evening. Bird Gang, what's happening, Chief?
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Another episode 122. Let's get it, baby. Let's go.
All right, so I purposely did not discuss with you anything about this past weekend, except for one thing. We talked about one thing, and that was the event that you went to on Friday with our man, Mr. Emil. And you have, I know, a little bit of, you know what, just tell the folks what happened on Friday night with our man, Too Smooth.
Yeah, man. I attended the boxing match, and our winner, Jamar, also attended the event. And listen, man, Mill Too Smooth came through with the victory. All three judges scored in favor of him winning the fight. I personally had the fight 4-2, possibly 5-1. It was a 6-round fight. He looked great, man. I mean, like, it was my first time actually seeing him live in action, and he did phenomenal. You could see why Rob was talking highly of him. A few other people that mentioned his name in the boxing realm and sports world, in that regards. But I mean, man, when I tell you, like, the attention to small details, like when you're watching a boxing match, like reaction time, how he was looking at, yeah, first off, the name suits him 100%, because he was just very calm throughout the whole fight. He had a little discomfort with due to some equipment, specifically like the cup, because he kept like moving it, like, and stuff like that during it. You could just tell something wasn't right. But nevertheless, man, he pulled off the victory convincingly. It wasn't no, like, questionable win or anything like that. Um, Man, he did his thing, man. So salute to, him and his team. They did their thing, and I can't wait to the next one, because you could really see um that he's in his element. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a treat for the night for myself, being a huge boxing fan, and I just see nothing but bigger and better things coming from him, due to the fact that, like I said, just the small details. Like, even though he didn't get the knockout, which we know he came on the podcast and wanted the knockout, and obviously they're looking for knockouts and stuff like that. Um, he still did his thing, man, and yeah, that's what happened. But definitely a dope night. And shout out to him and congrats on the victory.
Congratulations to Mr. Too Smooth. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next for the young man. It's just the beginning of his journey, and we can't wait to see how this thing actually transpires and keeps going. But like I said, that's the only thing that we talked about in detail of exactly what happened. I couldn't be there because of my busy schedule and stuff that happened, but I'm glad we talked about it earlier. But like I said, we did not talk about this at all. So this is going to be a fresh conversation that me and you going to have, and that all of us is going to be part of. All right. So I need all y'all to comment below for this conversation for us to go ahead and really get into it. All right. First things first, we have to talk about these guys. Everybody, this is the NFL or the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2026. Starting from right to left, Mr. Drew Brees. Then the man, this man should have been in a long time ago, but Mr. Roger Craig, the man, the myth, the legend in the middle, that's Mr. Larry Fitzgerald. Then Luke Kuechly, the crazy linebacker from Carolina. And then the man that I said that I would not be surprised if he get voted in, Mr. Adam Vinatieri, all the way in the corner. I said he was going to get in, and a kicker got in. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Joel? I know you hate telling me that I'm right, but I was right.
Now, listen, man, all those guys are well deserved. Obviously, like, the whole thing that we had in question was the whole Bill Belichick thing.
Mhm.
And look, man, shout out to them guys. Congratulations to all those. I know for sure, like me personally, I wanted to see Larry Fitzgerald just because he was a monster. And
Monster.
obviously, Drew Brees, given the fact that a lot of people are realizing how great he is after the game, just due to the fact that he was undersized his whole career and was still able to put up astonishing numbers
Yeah.
and pull off a Super Bowl victory and stuff like that. But shout out to that class, man. I don't have no issues with everyone that got in. It's more or less like we talked about before is who didn't get in that was more surprising.
Yo, if you was to tell me and looked at the whole entire lineup of who was going to be like who was like one of the finalists, right, to make it into this Hall of Fame class, and you saw Mr. Kraft, you saw Mr. Bill Belichick, and you saw Adam Vinatieri. The last one you would have thought of that was going to make it in was Adam Vinatieri. And go figure, the one that makes it into the Hall first out of those three names is the kicker.
Yeah,
Go,
man. Obviously they're gonna get in. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like it just
absolutely.
has to happen. Like it just looks silly for not to have Bill Belichick in, and then obviously like the owner is there, and he reaped the benefits of having Tom Brady and that coach and stuff like that. But I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, we're gonna see what happens, but. I just think the NFL is looking silly for not having Bill Belichick in. It's just weird.
Yeah, I agree. But that would have been one heck of a New England only type of party for this Hall of Fame class. It's it was either like Belichick was going to get in, Adam wasn't. You know what I mean? It was either one of the two was going to get in this year. And I guess they chose the kicker, thinking that Belichick, you know, needs to wait, maybe needs to get humbled, maybe, all the gates that he has that's against him is all loading up for him not to get in right away, which is all asinine because he's the most winningest coach in NFL history. It makes no sense. And you go back to even back to his Giant days when he was defensive coordinator, all his winnings that he have done over the years. It makes no sense. Look, we already talked about it already. We don't got to dive into it now, but we already know that next year Belichick is going to get in. That's almost a guarantee. That's the only thing that would make sense because all the smoke that he got this year. Well, the smoke that the NFL Hall of Fame got this year. But no, he's definitely going to get in. But look, man, out of that class, I have literally no complaints. Nobody. Roger Craig, for example, I believe he should have gotten in 10 years ago. It's no, he's one of the like staples of what you want your prototypical running back right now to actually be. He was that back in the 80s. He was one of the greatest running backs that we ever seen, especially on that team. That team was crazy. That 49 team was bananas. He should have been in all. That's just my opinion, though.
Right. No, I totally agree, man. Like I said, I don't have no issues with them guys that got in.
So Hall of Fame out of the way, great class. I was probably expecting more. I'm sure the headliner there will be Drew Brees, obviously, but you know if there's anyone that all of us can be happy for, it definitely was Larry Fitzgerald. That's the reason why he's in the center of that class that's there. So, congrats to the Hall class of 2026, and yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to be approaching for next year because they got a couple other names that's going to be kind of crazy for next year too to add on to all the ones that got snubbed for the last number of years. But a different conversation for later on. But let's get into this conversation about one of the worst Super Bowls that we ever see.
I
And
ain't even finished watching it, bro. I
one of
ain't gonna
the
hold you, man. Like I just couldn't do it. I was like,
uh,
this is bad, man. But you know what I mean? Like shout out to Seattle Seahawks. I don't want to take anything away
right,
from their victory and the year that they had. Obviously, it just took a lot of us a long time to be believers. But in addition to just having uh a favorable schedule, and then things clicking on all cylinders, everything just went right from them from all aspects. Throughout that, even the playoff schedules, who they played, and all that stuff like that, it just everything just like lined up perfectly for them. And with the game itself, like I just think it just shows like the New England Patriots, they were just super green being in that position
yeah,
and just making in the first two quarters they was holding their own, but I mean at the end of the day, man, you just saw rookie mistakes by a young quarterback going in there and probably being overwhelmed. But he had New England had the toughest path. You know what I mean? With playing the top defenses going into the playoffs, and look, they ran into the top defense in the league, and everything just went through. So, but definitely, shout out to them, man. But the game was, man, it was like I wasn't even. I'm sitting there trying not to be biased and just be entertained, and I'm just like, yo, what time is the halftime show again? You know what I
fact.
mean? We was literally counting down for that, just sitting there looking at the game like, bro, this is crazy. You know what I mean? So, but that's my take on the game.
That game was absolutely. Now I had to congratulate Stokes, him being a Seattle Seahawks fan his whole entire life. And literally, I can think on all the conversations that we had over the last, so like 6, 7 years, how I literally said that like you would never see a Seattle Seahawks championship as long as the Eagles had the squad that we have. I literally been saying this for years to him, and how I had to eat my words and how I had to congratulate him, for that win. But I also said to him that if your squad ran into our 2025, 24-25 Eagles of last year, y'all would have gotten smoked. It would not it would not even been close. So you ran into the Eagles, or you happen to make your run at the perfect time. But that just tells me that this door is wide open for anybody that's out there team wise for the next couple years, because I don't I don't know if you see, but I don't see the Patriots making that type of jump again next year with the monsters that's back in the AFC, that they'll be back on board again. With Mahomes being available, with you don't know what's going to happen with Lamar in that squad, and with with Josh in that squad, but you got some monsters coming back. I don't know if New England's going to be tough enough to go ahead and make it back to the promised land of the Super Bowl again with the monsters coming back. But this door just feels like it's just wide open for everybody.
Listen, if you haven't had a chance, I encourage you guys to look at it. I'm gonna pull it up actually after I mention it, so I could tell you and rattle it off completely. But their schedule next year, oh man, that schedule for the New England Patriots, it is crazy. You have to look at it. I mean, this is just me telling you guys, like this is my take. I'll be shocked if they even make the playoffs with the schedule that they got. It is brutal, and I get. And the only reason I say that because I mean, obviously they're going to try to build through the draft and get some like I think they need O line and then obviously another playmaker because Stephon Diggs was, what I mean, Diggs was not it at all. You know what I'm
No.
saying? And then when Mac Hollins is the top receiver out there and playmaker, you got yourself a problem. But
Yep.
you know, yeah, man, I looked at their schedule and I'm just like, what? And it's the opponent and then they're traveling. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if you had a chance to look at that. And then again, like these teams from year over year, you forget that some of these teams had a favorable schedule and a lot of people don't take too much stock into that. But it really is a issue. You know what I'm saying? Just like with us, like we were able to rattle off what 11 wins as the defending champions, and like anybody that's going to play Seattle next year is going to give them their best shot, and they're going to want to beat the champions. So you got that whole element, and then your schedule, obviously, with them being the number one in the division, they're going to be playing whatever top seeds were from the previous year. So their schedule is going to get harder as well. So we're going to see, but I don't know if you got something to chime in on that part.
Okay, so their away opponents.
Oh, you pulled it up. All right, because
Yeah,
I was all right. Bet. So go
yeah.
ahead.
Their away opponents that they have: Bears, Lions, Chiefs, Chargers, Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Jaguars, Seahawks.
Yeah.
That's their away.
Right, and then they got the home games, the division games, and then what? Who else they play at home that is not in their division?
Broncos, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Bills, once again, Dolphins and Jets, of course.
Right.
And Seattle. I'm sorry, forgive me. Or it says Seattle with the other one. Ravens, and it says Ravens or Steelers.
Oh, that's probably the tiebreaker there.
Okay.
Right. But listen, man, that schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I'm like, yo. But that just speaks to, you know what I'm saying, year over year. And that's what makes the NFL competitive. Obviously, they did two good things, with the scheduling and all that stuff. So you got that whole element where, top seeds from the previous year play each other. But in addition to that, they're backloading all those division games towards the end of the year. So now
Right.
on top of having that tough schedule, then you're gonna end up playing that division, you're going to be playing the Bills and Miami, division games, Jets, at the tail end, they try to make a playoff push. And then, it's going to be tough, man. I didn't look at Seattle's schedule, but that Patriots schedule is insane.
Yeah. And with the idea, once again, of the monsters coming back, it's going to be tough for the Patriots. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look up Seattle's real quick, just in case. I know it's riveting YouTube and Instagram, me searching.
Yeah, man. I could not believe that schedule. I was like, yo, there's no way possible you could complain about the Eagles schedule. Even with us having that first place schedule and then looking at what that team has to go through, I was like, yo, this is crazy.
All right, you ready? The home games for the Seahawks next year: Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Dallas Giants, Bears, KC, Chargers, Patriots, right? On the road, once again, Cardinals, Rams, San Fran, makes sense. Eagles, Washington, Carolina, Broncos, Raiders.
Oh, that one. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, man. To see what Seattle has for see them defend their championship. That's going to be interesting. So, but no, for the hater that is in me, I'm gonna go ahead and decrease that individual and bring and a little bit of gratitude, happiness. Seattle, congratulations on the win. No matter what it looked like and what it felt like when it comes to us watching the game, boring. Uh, you still won. You still got the job done, and no one could take away this championship run from y'all. So congratulations. I'm happy that y'all guys ran against a real weak squad with a questionable quarterback that was scared. It looked like he was playing scared for the last two games. But you ran into the right team at the right time to get your championship. So congratulations, Seattle. Can't wait till next year, man, when we get to see some changes happening in the NFL and see how everything transpire. But it's good to know that, in my opinion, this door is wide open. It's just wide open. In my opinion, of course. The door is wide open though. But yeah, that's that. So this is the part of the conversation that I was waiting to have with you directly, Joel. All right. And it has everything to do with that man right there. Now, we all know the hate and everything that we've been hearing from I don't want to say from everybody, but from other folks that's out there. And we're not going to get political. We're not going to get into why people are looking at things the wrong way or the right way, whatever. We're not going to get into all that. Because, if you have your opinion on that show and how the show was and everything, that's up to you. That's up to you, your family, and God. That has nothing to do with us. But I will say this: for that man to represent, in my opinion, of course, to represent Puerto Rico the way that he did, the culture, the vibe, the feel, the everything, what he was able to do on that field. I know, me being the individual that I am, knowing that I'm married to a Puerto Rican wife, my child has Puerto Rican blood in her as well. The pride that I had watching it. And no, I did not understand a word he said except for God bless America. That's the only thing I understood in its totality. But I enjoyed the mess out of that whole entire experience. So you, Joel, Puerto Rican, a man that's been to your native land a number of times. I'm sure if I'm right, I remember you telling me you still have family out there too. Am I accurate with that? What did that halftime show mean to you and your family?
Well, listen, man, I've been prior to this even happening, the halftime show and all that stuff. Like just like Larry said, obviously, Hispanic, Puerto Rican descent, all that stuff, all that. But even before that, like just to put things into perspective, anytime Bad Bunny has came and performed in Philly, I've been there. I've been to New York to watch a show. I flew out to Vegas to watch Bad Bunny, and honestly, like I was trying by every ounce in me to make it to Puerto Rico because I knew that that show was, so meaningful on so many levels because when he dropped that album that he performed, well, some of the songs that he performed during the halftime show, he dropped this past year, and he intentionally started doing basically like a residency in Puerto Rico due to the fact that he didn't want to travel in the states and have shows in different states and stuff like that. And obviously, he was going to get paid because every time he comes, he sell out. But his logic behind it was, or their logic behind it, collectively as a team was have the shows in Puerto Rico to increase the revenue for the island. So for the businesses, for all those type of things that impact, travel, everything from all aspects, restaurants, all those things. That's from there. So I've personally been to numerous shows. I lost count, to be honest with you. But what it meant to me, my family, and stuff like that, honestly, it brings back things. And I mentioned this before on the show where we kind of like, from, and I want to say, I was one because I mentioned this on the show before where, like we lose sight of things that our family has, our aunts, uncles, grandparents or great grandparents passed down to us. And for some reason we lose track of trying to like pass those things down to our younger generations and stuff like that. With the main one being here in the States, you'd be surprised how many young Puerto Rican people that live in the States can't even talk Spanish. You know what I mean? Some of them understand it, and then if you want to keep going further, some of them probably could talk and understand it, but they can't read and write it. So you got those kind of things that I'm kind of like referencing to. But it just kind of shows you, like, man, like what it really meant to me, man, is just kind of like going back and looking at those things, like far as from like your history, your family history, and making sure that like you figure out a way to instill that in your kids and your children and stuff like that, and making sure that what I mean, they know where they come from. And a lot of the things that he did during the halftime show was just really like pinpointing things out that, you know, were true to the land and true to the people, and making sure that he did stuff like that, during that show. But honestly, it was everything to me. I was not surprised about how the performance went down or anything like that, because when I tell you, every single show that I've been to, I was excited to go to another one because I knew that he just turns into this whole different person and he becomes the character of whatever that album was kind of like, like what was focused on. So I already knew he was going to like have a crazy show and a meaningful show. You know what I mean? But it meant everything to me. Honestly, it made me proud and all that stuff. But on the flip side, to be honest with you, man, like me seeing a lot of like the negative things is really impacting me in a negative way, man. Where I had a conversation today, I was like, yo, like I literally had to like disconnect a little bit from anytime I see something, whether it's going to be positive or negative, I like skip it, because it's like, when you hear people that are like completely ignorant to the fact that have no clue of what they're talking about and want to give their opinion and all that. And everybody, whatever, you don't like Spanish music, you can't understand, that's cool. But the way some people are articulating that, you know what I mean, and saying things is kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, a lot of people got exposed. Like, even people that I follow in that I thought were cool, let's say. And, certain things and how they say it is like, whoa, like, I didn't expect that from this person. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, it's cool, like I understand, but best believe if, I said that about someone and their nationality or whatever it was, and I said it in a way that they said it, directed towards, the Hispanic community, it would be taken the wrong way. But man, when I tell you though, proud moment, man. I cannot be, I was just sitting there like, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I was like that close of shedding tears, bro, because I'm just like it meant that much to the Hispanic community, and obviously Puerto Rico would, because he's Puerto Rican, but he just made it a point just to shout out all Latin America. You know what I mean? And making sure that, like he got his point across and stuff like that. But he just did it. And you talking about someone that was able to do this in 13 minutes. You know what I mean? And you go back and you think about halftime shows. Obviously, Michael Jackson was like, it's tough to like keep up from that performance. But from a performance standpoint and really delivering a message that just needed to be delivered in a way that it wasn't derogatory, it wasn't, it was respectful. It was just like, hey, you either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it, but it was done in the correct way. And for people that don't like it, man, listen, like that's cool, but I just got an issue with that part of it, like what happened after, because I just see a lot of people just like, oh, this and that. Like, even like the whole, I don't even want to say his name because I just don't even want to like give it no light to a lot of the negative things that I saw from
Okay.
top people that are
Mhm.
out there. But my unfollow button was heavy this
Yeah, I
weekend.
feel
I was just like, bro, I would not support anything this person does from here on out. I don't care at all. Like it that's where I'm at with it.
I feel
Cause
you.
I got bigger things and more important things to worry about.
So I see that's your point of view. Like I said, I wanted to get that from you. 'Cause I knew that whole entire halftime show was going to mean a lot to you and your family. But I want to look at it from kind of the other side too. Hey Tone, how'd you feel about
Yeah,
the halftime show? Tone the promoter.
yeah. What's going on?
Yo,
First
yo,
off, what's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, man? How y'all doing tonight?
Good to see you, bro.
oh, it's
Yeah,
good, bro.
likewise, man. It's good to be seen, man. But I'm glad that I'm saying I could join you guys, I'm saying. Definitely just getting off of work, I'm saying, making it to the crib safely, I'm saying, to join this great conversation with my guys.
My man.
And I'm saying, I came in on the tail end pause of the conversation about the halftime performance. So, my Super Bowl Sunday went like this. Like I had my son, so I watched the first half of the game, at the crib, and then had to take him home. So when we left the crib, when I left the crib, it was probably about let's just say 2 minutes left, the second quarter. So, of course, was taking him home and then making my way, back to where, I went and halftime was over. Halftime show was over. So I didn't see the performance like when it actually, like happened while the game was on. I watched it on Monday, and you know, my take on it is, I didn't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with. I'm gonna say this. I don't have a problem with any halftime performance. You know what I'm saying? Because real talk, and this is just me. I don't really like sit down and watch the halftime shows. Like, what I'm saying? I know we was all together last year, I'm saying, the Super Bowl. I think we probably watched the Kendrick, performance only because it happened. We was at the venue. So of course, I'm saying,
Right.
it was only right to do that. But man, to be honest with you, me personally, I ain't in the Super Bowl. I don't watch the Super Bowl for the halftime show. You know what I'm saying? I really did tap in though when they had the back in the day when M did it and he brought out, what I'm saying, Dre, Snoop, 50 Cent, all that, what I'm saying, cool stuff. What I'm saying? I watched that joint. But like shit, man, the best one to me is when, what I'm saying, Justin Timberlake ripped out Janet, the John, like this, that was the best one. I'm saying? That was the best performance. So, to keep it a BAC. But no, man, like, all serious, man. The performance was cool, I'm saying? He rocked it. Did I know what he was saying? No. Did I need to know what he said? No. I mean, he performing just like like anybody else is performing, what I'm saying? It ain't like he was up there saying anything, what I'm saying, crazy or whatever, man. Like we just need to, what I'm saying, just step aside, man. A lot of different things is just happening, man. That's just the world. That's how we going to evolve, man. How we going, what I'm saying, stop anything if you just want things one way. What I'm saying? All these people, oh, I don't understand what he was saying, and this and that. And I seen somebody made a point was like, do you even understand what a lot of these rappers be saying? What I'm saying? And they music, like they be it's mumble rappers out there, or when they perform and it's 25 people on stage and everybody got a microphone and you don't understand what nobody's saying,
Oh,
what I'm saying? Because everybody's doing their thing. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, I don't know what the big hoopla was about, what I'm saying? Whoever performed. Like I said, y'all ain't, y'all really watch this. The people, all right, this is what I want to this is what they probably should do. Just eliminate the people who really just watch Super Bowl for the halftime performance. Because it is people like that. Like people who don't understand the sport, they're not really into the sport. And that's cool. So they really tap into whoever's performing. If you got a problem with the genre of music, hey, that's just on you. Hey, we all don't rock with the same music. That's fine. But for it to happen at any kind of sport event, ain't no need to, what I'm saying, poop on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like, what I mean? Nobody said anything when like I don't who like I said, I can't even tell you who performed in these Super Bowls, what I'm saying, at halftime performances because I don't even be really tapped in to the halftime performance. Like I want to see football, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's corny. I ain't even really been even following the negativity part, what I'm saying, of it, because, what I'm saying, like, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't in this world, man. Like, it's going to happen regardless. So you just gotta keep fucking moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bad Bunny, I think they said what he just it was the most watched, you know what I'm saying, Super Bowl perform. What are you saying about that? So all right. So if we want to say something about that, all y'all motherfuckers talking about y'all didn't like it. Y'all tuned the fuck in. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Or yeah, like y'all had to be some of the ones that tuned in, but you ain't want to watch it. You got something to say about it. Like, but you helped them numbers skyrocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know what I mean? Like, whatever. If you don't like it, man, don't look at it. You know what I'm saying? You could, I guess you could, give your opinion or whatever, because that's the amendment we all have with free speech and all this and that. But you know what I'm saying? Keep all that little lame stuff, you know what I'm saying, to yourself, man, because my man only doing numbers. You know what I'm saying, from this. So
Facts.
you you keep on hating. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna do nothing but just keep making his pockets just keep getting swollen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool.
125 million views, and
Well,
that's
the thing
that's
is
just the speak.
too is that, and this is where the issue became, where they did a whole other alternate halftime show. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
When
During
on
the Super
Sunday?
Bowl, yeah, the
yep,
the turning point jump,
yep.
the rock and roll jump, and they got 5 point like something million views,
Uh-huh.
like
Hold
that
on, wait,
tuned
wait,
into
wait,
that.
wait. So what was that on another
That's the
channel?
whole thing about this, and
YouTube.
you know what I'm saying, and whatever, like
Guys, yeah,
that's
you
where a
look,
lot of
I told
people.
you I ain't even tapped and I ain't
No,
even
but that's
hear
what I'm
about that.
saying. That's where a
I ain't
lot
even
of
hear about
people
that.
getting everything like a little, and they created that double, like I don't even want to say double standard. They just created a whole other thing that didn't have to be created, because last year when Kendrick performed, there wasn't no second thing. You know what I mean? But since it was a Hispanic person performing, they had this whole other halftime going on at the same time. 5 point something million people tuned into that. You know what I mean? So for him to put up them numbers and get the numbers that he got, on top of people having an alternative, is crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's where it was at with it. You know what I mean? So
The headliner on that one was Kid Rock.
Then I
it was
seen him. I seen him say something
right.
about Jay-Z. Talking about being a DEI hire for the for
No,
the
see, this is what I got to say about that. So
like,
now
yo,
next,
this nigga, man.
right,
People,
but
man.
now next year, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's not going to happen. Well, I don't want to say I know it's not going to happen. But now, like, look at this standard you created. So now, how about if, you know, all the Latin artists got together, and next year during the halftime show we have a whole Latin show. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? To
right,
take away and create that alternative, just like they did this year. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Because now it's like, all right, so it's cool when a Latin artist is going to headline the halftime show, and then now, oh, you know what I mean? So now it's like, all right, well, some people probably don't want to listen to English music. So now, if you had, these star-studded guys like, you know what I mean, Mark Anthony, Bad Bunny, all these guys that really could pull numbers and really pull. And to your point, Tone, just like people just tune in to watch the halftime show, I guarantee you, if that happened, will impact the shit out of the numbers for the halftime show. Because just like they tune in for that, some people just tune in for the commercials. It's like the
Right,
wildest
right,
thing.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. There's a
But
lot of reasons why.
yeah,
Right, right,
if they really sat there and said, all right, let's y'all, just like y'all, we were able to, come through and perform and do all that and still put up the numbers, even with y'all having that little extra, halftime show as an alternative, we're going to do the same thing. And I guarantee you, it will put up more than that 5 million little views that they got. I guarantee you. I will
hmm
Absolutely.
guarantee you.
Yeah. Uh, Jessica, I just want to back up a little bit into the conversation. Sunny D earlier said my daughter is mixed with Trini and Dominican. So, that was, that show, I'm pretty sure, knowing the importance of the makeup of your daughter, how important the show was for you, for her as well. That's it. This show, what he was able to do on a national audience was monumental. It was monumental. And no, you didn't have to understand every word he said. I know I didn't. Like I said, the only thing I understood was God bless America. That's He said that nice and clear. There was no problem. And and nice little portion in the middle with a nice little rendition that I was not expecting. That was all in English, but I enjoyed the mess out of every single bit of it, knowing the story, just seeing the story actually taking place and what he was trying to do, like you said, Joel, in 13 minutes. And lastly, what she said here, and once again, we're not going to make this political because that's not the route that we go here on the show, but she said that Commander Cheeto got these folks believing PR ain't part of America.
Did you guys see the Cat Williams, John?
Nah,
comedy
I was watching some of it earlier.
He was sitting there talking about
He said he had lunch with the president of Puerto Rico.
that he was talking to the president of Puerto Rico. That's what Donald Trump said. He said, I put my blunt down and put my hand up
like he don't even know it's a part of America.
You are, because it was us in the Virgin Islands. He was like, you are the president of the Virgin Islands of Puerto Rico. So who were you talking to?
Right. Himself. He's talking to his damn self.
Bro, listen. When the last time when that whole Hurricane Maria thing and he just went over there and was
tossing
at people. Come
on.
Like that's the only thing you've done. Like I don't even want to get into the political thing because it's like whatever. That's a whole other element. I'm just talking about more so, you know what I mean? Like just like creating that double standard with the whole other halftime show and all that stuff is like, oh man, it's gonna be crazy.
It was only one problem though. I ain't gonna front. It was only one problem that I had with the Bad Bunny joint. A lot of other people had a problem with it. Why he ain't bring out the Puerto Rican princess, Jocelyn Hernandez from Love and Hip Hop? Where was she at, yo? Where was the Puerto Rican princess at? Oh, why she ain't do a feature? You know what I'm saying? But yo, did y'all see Flavor Flav? Well, he posted on his Instagram that Cardi came to his suite, right? Cardi B came to his suite, but she was also on stage dancing. He talking about at the same time. Did you see that? No. He was like, he talking about how is Cardi B up in my press box giving me a hug and she on the field dancing, and then there was a picture of her same outfit. I don't know if the girl was just like her. I don't know if Cardi was on the damn stage, but I was like, wait.
Yo,
I was like, wait, did she dance real quick and run upstairs real quick?
Robot.
I was like, I was like, yo.
They did catch her like when she was in the little casita thing. They did see her like running out the back.
Yes,
once everything got done. So,
y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see that AI robot fall on her?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They cloned her already.
Yo, John fell straight between her legs. I was like, yo, this iRobot trying to get some Cardi B. I don't know. I think it was somebody in that suit, yo. I don't know about that, John. That John fell right in between it. Hey, yo, did y'all talk about the game yet?
Yeah, we did. What's your take on it, though? You can go into it if you want.
I mean, I'll get my take. That ain't really wild.
You can tell me the final score and who was the MVP.
Because
I actually who's the MVP because of the next day, but I didn't even finish watching the game. I was like,
yo, so on Monday, you at the job. Who do you think comes strolling in that joint?
That guy. That guy right there. That guy right there.
Hey yo, I just happened to be walking up front. I see this dude, yo. He had on the Largent jersey. He had on the Seahawks headband, the chin strap, the shoulder pads.
Probably still got it on.
Yo, he tried to go sack Kev. Yo, I was like, yo, what is I say? Oh, this boy is up here. He like, yeah, I'm flying high right there. I was like, okay. I was like, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Nah.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna be on that show on Wednesday. He was like, if I'm gonna be on there, he's gonna be on these comments. I was like, I said, do your thing, bro. Talk heavy, man. Dan came right up there.
I knew that was going to probably happen. All extra proud. Like I said, Darren, now that I know that you're officially watching, I'm just happy that you didn't run. And I said this to you directly before, so I'm not saying anything new. That just be happy that your 2025-26 Seahawks didn't run it to the 2024-25 Philadelphia Eagles, because that wouldn't have been the game. Y'all would have gotten completely destroyed. But that's a whole different conversation. The what ifs is what ifs, but it is what it is. Sonny T said
he said you said that, right? He's like, but what about the 2025 team?
You're right.
He was like, that team, we couldn't fuck with that team. I was like, yeah. I was like, it's an argument that, what I mean, both of y'all want to say the same thing. So I was like, yeah.
So Sonny D says she wished that Danny Yankee was, she kind of wished that he was there. But let's go to show the connection between between all of them is that he played Gasolina for about like 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds to just basically just give him the respect that, the respect of the island. It was a good thing. And here we go. So what about the 2025 Eagles? You're right. But I guarantee you this, it would have been a better game than what that stinking Patriots team gave you. And our offense was trash this past year. So, but you're right. You're the champs. I'm not going to bow down to the champs, but I'm going to give the champs the respect that's due. Hate that Seahawks team. Anyway, congratulations, Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations, Puerto Rico. Man, y'all, that was a really good night. I was proud for y'all. I really was. I was really proud for y'all. He did his thing. He definitely did his thing. So you went, just in case, Tone, we'll go back just for 2 seconds before we get ready to close this thing out. We knew that you was going to show up a little late, but then we was going to get into almost the whole entire conversation without you. But the other winners of the weekend, these guys here, the 2026 Hall of Fame class with Drew Brees, Roger Craig, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, and the one that I said that was going to make it, and y'all all laughed, Mr. Adam Vinatieri, the kicker. That guy.
That's who should have got the MVP, the Seattle kicker. Yo, I was sitting there like, another field goal. Oh,
I know.
Man, this game is so entertaining.
Another one.
Yeah.
The game was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. What does a kicker have to do? Just kick like 10 field goals to win the MVP? That's the most ever in the Super Bowl. I was like, this is crazy. He accounted for a lot of points that game.
Shit, for the whole season, he led the league. He got the most points in the season ever.
Right.
Terrible.
So he was scoring all fucking year. That's all he was doing was kicking field goals.
So, anything you want to say about that class, about anybody, Tom, before we get ready to shut everything down?
Yeah, man, Luke Kuechly, y'all.
No?
Look how fast he made the Hall of Fame, bro. Luke Kuechly? Was you really screaming Luke Kuechly? No, for real. Like, you was a big fan of his? And I ain't trying to say he wasn't talented. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying you was really screaming Luke Kuechly. He was a good player.
I think he was a great player. Like, I think he was good. I also think he got hurt a lot.
That's what I remember. That's what a lot
he kept having concussions and shit. He kept knocking himself out the game. But I definitely think like it was deserved, and
it took Roger Craig how long?
Yeah.
Facts.
Come on, man. That's it. Don't come on, man. That don't add up to me. Like, come on, bro. Like, we know who Roger Craig is. I ain't saying we don't know who Luke Kuechly is either, but their pedigrees is different, man. And like I said, he made it fast. And like I said, look how long it took. Did y'all see when they went to Roger Craig crib and surprised him with the joint? He was crying like, yo, like it's been so long for that man. Come on, Don. He was part of some good teams, great seasons he had. Come on, man. You know, where's the respect at on that?
We talked about it earlier. The fact that he's the example of the prototypical running back of the league right now. Like there would be like no Saquon, no, this. No, we can go through all the lines right now. Every of the great running backs right now, except for Derrick Henry. He's just different. But if you look
But
at all,
you see he was all humble. They asked him, "What is he a Hall of Fame player?" He said, "No." You seen that? Look, I'm like, come on, bro.
who
You
Derrick?
know, yeah, I see. You know, you're gonna be
Hey, first
first
ballot.
pilot. Come on, man.
Let's just listen to the schedule. Drake May was seeing Ghost. Okay.
So you know what? I'm
Yeah,
glad he said something about that because next year, like, all right, so New England, obviously they made the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They was a good team. They had some little winning streaks. The defense was playing good. You know what I mean? Drake May was this and that. He was diamond everywhere. He was looking good. Next year is going to really be the telltale as if this team is what they were this year. And you know what I'm saying? They get to the Super Bowl, man. Like I don't want to downplay that. Like that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that it obviously happened to them in the way it did happen because of the schedule being the way it was. People don't just walk to the Super Bowl though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you still gotta play the games. Like shit can happen any given Sunday. We always talk about that. But again, their role was set up, their confidence was high. You know what I mean? You probably played different with that different kind of, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, motivation, you know what I'm saying, all that plays in the part. You had a winning
Hold
tradition
on,
this
Mark.
year.
Hold on. I want to talk to you for a second, Mark. But hold on one second. Go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead. I'm feeling what happened?
Oh no. No, I was just telling. I just wanted you to finish what you were saying. I was going to get to Mark. I didn't want him to step off. But so he said Drew Brees made it fast. He made it. I'm assuming he made it into the Hall of Fame fast. Now, when I think of Drew Brees, I think automatic first ballot Hall of Fame. He was going to get in immediately. When I think of like a couple of quarterbacks that's first ballots, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, no brainers. You know what I mean? But with that statement, Mark, I guess you think that he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Can you explain to me why you think that way? And I'll go ahead and wait for your answer on that one. You can go ahead and continue, Tom.
Um, I kind of lost I kind of lost my train of thought when you stopped me, but
No,
now you was
uh,
talking about the Patriots schedule and how they ended up,
and we
with
talked
the
about
win.
it too, bro. Yeah,
right,
we
and I
Yeah,
was
we
saying because they're gonna get the obviously all the division winners. You know what I'm saying next year the tough teams, the teams who were obviously the cream of the crop once the playoffs started. Like I said, even though they played, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs they played some of them teams. I think Denver obviously,
yeah, but
they
see
they
that
didn't have
that's
they didn't have a quarterback. You know what I'm saying. Them elements was a little, you know what I'm saying, like crazy. Um, and who they beat in their
Houston,
first round game? Houston.
Houston, and saying the
Man,
Chargers, the Chargers.
they ain't face nobody. They ain't face nobody all year. Shit, all year. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much,
Hmm.
man. So, but next year we're gonna be the telltale. But what they gonna have to do
I
though,
told Larry they ain't gonna make the playoffs next year.
they gonna have to get an offensive line for ball, man. They gonna have to get they gonna have to
And a
build a
playmaker.
brick
They
wall.
don't have a playmaker.
Yeah, he might need an outside guy. You know what I'm saying? He definitely need an outside guy, or definitely a decent tight end. But that offensive line, man, he was running for his life, man, and they was getting bulldozed. How you get sacked with the fucking offensive lineman on you? Damn.
I think they
Damn,
had
yo,
six
like,
sacks. I think they had
yeah,
six.
they had six. They had six, dog. But dog, when the ball sacked him with the center still, I was like, is he that damn strong, man? That he sacked both of y'all motherfuckers? Like, but that was crazy, man. They gotta get somebody to protect ball, yo. That was crazy.
Here's the thing, and the thing I didn't like was now this definitely opens up the door for AJ Brown because with Diggs,
Yeah.
with Diggs, being Diggs right now, he's complete garbage now.
Yo, they said he
But he
lost the
ain't do
Super Bowl
nothing.
and he lost the Super Bowl and his girl on the same night.
And I lost my bet. I had him for 25 receiving yards. 25, bro.
Becoming
Shit,
miserable.
You
that's
waited your
it.
whole life to get to the Super
25.
Bowl.
I
Like,
know, right?
what?
Right.
Oh, man.
But to have him shrink under pressure once again, uh, that was a false moment. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what ended up happening when it comes to him as the number one wideout. He just disappeared. He just 100% disappeared. So now I can easily see Vabel like, yo, I need a wide receiver that's not going to just disappear when we need him the most. Hello, AJ Brown. What's going to happen when it comes to that now? So I can see that happening. This offseason is going to be crazy.
Yeah, Sutton name just came up too. He posted something like along the lines that it might be his last game for Denver. So I don't know what he was told, but I mean he's up there in he's 30, but he was super efficient. But
Yes,
they got some good young receivers in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
they got nice. Yeah.
I could see them, letting him walk. So they probably already told him like, yo, you in play to, make a move to acquire some assets over there. But man, you got him. Then whatever happens with Tyreek Hill when he comes back,
yep,
you got a couple people. I know Dallas is planning to franchise tag Pickens, obviously. Um, but there's a couple receivers out there, man. So you gonna see.
absolutely. And Tariq Hill being over there in with the Patriots, that
I think they need a receiver, Baltimore, and obviously the Bills. Like they all need they can't ignore it. Like I
right.
mean, you know what I mean? Like you keep talking about these quarterbacks, and then you know what I mean. Then you're looking at who they throwing to. It's like, come on, yo, like you're doing a disservice to these guys at this point.
Yo, so I was listening to the radio, right? And this dude called the radio, and he was saying like he was a coach, you know what I'm saying, on football. He was like we all know that like he's like anybody in football, you all should know that like there's different parts, obviously positions in the game, positions in the team that like you don't need star players. He was like your interior, defensive, and offensive has to be stout. He was like, this for a winning tradition. He said, we everybody know that's the first formula. He was like, you can get it done and win a championship. He said with average receivers, but he was just like, you need a strong interior offensive and a strong defensive line, and because he was like, obviously, arguably, and if not arguably, obviously the GOAT Tom Brady won Super Bowls with slot receivers. He
Mm,
never had a number one. He even the year that he had Randy Moss, they didn't win the Super Bowl.
right.
So he was just like, and pretty much the argument came from because obviously the big thing they was talking about was trading AJ Brown, and then of course one dude called before this guy called and was just like, yo, that's the thing with Philly, man. We always be wanting to get rid of, you know what I'm saying, players like that. Like, oh, we need to keep him because he wanted to be top five, not top 10. Why get rid of somebody like that? Da, 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 da. And then the boy said it. He was just like, "Listen, man, he said we need Jalen Hurts to be Jalen Hurts." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "Why is this going should be the year a proven year for AJ Brown?" He was like, Jalen Hurts can win a championship without an AJ Brown. He was like, as long as they protect him on offensive line, and then they got a crazy D line. He was like, that's where you win at in the trenches. You know what I mean? He was just like, and you still got Smitty. It ain't like you wouldn't have, him. And then maybe they was even talking about since y'all signed the ball from Green Bay. Like, I don't know if the boy Dobbs is available or they was thinking about trading. They was saying something about that. He's like, shit, go get him. You know what I'm saying? He already with no ball system, and then he was just, I'm telling you, he was just, as long as they protect Jalen up front and then get that D line. He was like, AJ could be expendable. He's like, I know a lot of Philly fans ain't gonna like me saying this, you know what I'm saying? Because he's like, I'm not saying to trade him. Like, he's like, I'm not saying trade him, but he was just like, if we do, that's fine. He was like, as long as we get what we need on the offensive defensive line, and it will work.
Yeah, I mean, look at the team that just won. They had, the defensive line was putting pressure on them all the time, the whole game. And then the only thing, the difference on the Seattle side, Darnold just kept extending the play barely because the New England defense was playing great in the beginning. But them few plays, and then to your point, like they lost their best receiver, you know what I mean, and JSN for the game, and they still were able to win. You know what I mean? So I think it's just having them short-handed receivers, and obviously like Walker came to play. For the life of me, I was sitting there like, why they just don't keep handing the ball up to him? Because he was 7, 8 yards. I was like, damn, this boy going crazy today. He was definitely the best player on the field from an offensive standpoint. And then on the flip side, you had Matt Collins. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
The number one player on Seahawks team was their kicker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
No,
but
but
you know what I'm saying, running back, he got him up there for them to get the field goals. You know what
oh
I'm saying?
no.
It
Trust me, I'm
wasn't him.
joking. Trust me, I'm joking.
All I
That
know, the whole after that game, all kept. If I was Walker, all I kept hearing was cha-ching, cha-ching,
mm,
Yep.
MVP, free agent. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he did his thing, man. I mean, shit, he was the only thing, that was popping for Seattle. You know what I'm saying, offensively. You know what I'm saying? Darnold was trying to, make the plays and throwing tight windows, but it was getting defended well by New England. Bo Gonzalez had the two knockdowns, two major knockdowns,
bro,
like
it would have been
side
a
touchdown.
blowout if it wasn't because of
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
yeah. And then
It
you
would have
and
been a
then
blowout.
and Darnold even
Missed
missed
JSN
he
on
missed
the
one.
bomb.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
missed one. So and that's three plays. That's three plays where it could have been a route. It could have been a different, different outcome as far as MVP was. You know what I'm saying? Because those three tutties by Darnold. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
If them plays probably don't get broken up. So um, it was just. Listen, man. I know a lot of people, was mad about the game. Oh, it was boring. It was this. It was that. Like, yo, man. Like the phrase defense wins championships is the truth, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if that's going to be played, if defense is going to be played, you got to expect a game like that. And both teams actually play some decent defense at times. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need to win, man. And it's just whoever that offensive team that either gets a hot streak or makes the big play. Like I said, I just named the three plays. Those three plays changes that outcome of that game major. You know what I'm saying? And it was that's just three plays. And probably both teams ran over 100 plays, you know what I'm saying, combined. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I'm not saying I was sitting there like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh damn, you know what I'm saying? It's a boring ass game. I wish something else was happening. I wish I was watching something else. Like, it's football, man. You gonna get some games like that, or you gonna get some routes. But then you got the flip side. If the game was a 45 to 50, man, I mean, they ain't play no defense, and they was just out there. It's like a Pro Bowl game.
Nah, nobody gonna say that.
The only
You would say that if it was a shootout.
dog, what we talking about?
The game.
Like the
If
like
it
like
was a
the
shootout,
because
I
because the only reason that KC and Buffalo game was like it was the way it was. Remember that when they went to
yeah,
overtime? No, they scored like 30 points in 2 minutes.
that
Like
was exciting
it
though.
was like, but that was the
Nobody was
only
talking
part.
about no defense. Everybody was talking about like,
But that
damn,
was
this
the
is
only part of the game
crazy.
that happened. That was the only part of the game that happened. The other part of the game, it was defense. It was nobody was scoring. It was turnovers. You know what I'm saying? It was a regular football. It was just that one little part of the game. The whole game wasn't up and down the field. You know what I'm saying? Like that, where the turnout was 45, whatever that score was. But you know what I'm saying? Hey,
The
the game,
Seattle
like I said,
Rams
game is
game
a game.
was a great game. That one where it was going back and forth because I mean
Mhm.
even towards the end with like the catch on the sideline because every single play I think that's to me I get what you're saying like with the defense and stuff like that and you want teams to play good defense but I think when you got that shootout or that tight game at the end, I should say, where every play from offsides, a freaking pass interference, a catch, a tiptoe catch on the end. Was he in bound? Was he not? Oh my God, they got to run down the field, clock it, call timeout. You got so many things going on at one time. I think that's what really makes the game of football great when you have that element. So when it didn't have that element, and it started off so slow. Like, yo, I was already driving, like the game's still on. I didn't know what the score ended. I didn't know who was the MVP until the following day. I was just like, yo, I can't do this, But I don't know, man. I definitely think like having those shootouts and it coming down to the last 2, 3 drives, and then now you doing the math in your head. Oh man, now they got to go for two. They got to make this extra point or whatever it is. That part of it is like the exciting part.
Just real quick, I just want to shout out our IG family. They always showing up and showing out for us, man. Lil Miriam, of course, she's here. Our podcast link Philly showed up. Kane Digital showed up for us. Well, uh, D Boy's on here. She'd Eat Sweets and Be Merry is on here as well.
Yeah.
BJK also with us on IG. We appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in on IG with us as well. Thank y'all guys so much for joining us as we talk about all the things that happened this past week. But with all that being said, it's official. Time to shut them down. We appreciate every single one of y'all for joining us on episode 120. Dive talk into a game that was the most boringest game, but had a great halftime show. Man,
That's what got it started. Nothing started until after the halftime show. It
yeah,
kicked it off.
that's absolutely true. But Bird Gang, what you guys say to the people?
Hey, listen, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of GNT Sports Talk. But listen, this week, this Saturday, Valentine's Day. We gonna show you guys love right now or starting tonight, tomorrow. Once I load this promo in the GNT pop-up shop, we are gonna give you guys and show you guys some love. 20% off anything on the GNT pop-up shop. Go on there, support us. Again, 10% off, 10% of any of the things that are autism awareness related get donated to a nonprofit organization. But in addition to that, we're going to show you guys love from Saturday to Saturday, 1 week only, showing you guys love on the GNT pop-up shop. Again, 20% off. Bird Gang checking out. Thank you guys for your support.
Yo. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of GNT Sports Talk. Man, I am the promoter, and what do? I have Laugh the Pain Away, right? That I'm the curator of, man, which we have a show coming up February 27th, man. The lineup is crazy. We have a poet, she is crazy, season dialogue, man. And we got a comedian, female comedian, be called Flat Out Funny, man. Be Flat. So y'all gotta come check us out, man, down at the World Cafe Live. February 27th. Tickets on sale right now. Follow me, Tony Promoter, on IG. The ticket link is in the bio. I'll see y'all there, February 27th, man. And then I'll see y'all next week also for another episode of GNT Sports Talk. Let's get it.
Yeah, I was trying to follow where you was going with all that, tone, because you went a little different in order. I'm like, all right, where is he going? Where is he going with all this? But I'm glad we was able to go ahead and promote another great show. Man, that's your show, The Laugh the Pain Away, has been growing, pause, extremely well when it comes to like where y'all got started at and where y'all guys are at today. So I'm definitely proud of you and your team, that whole entire squad. with Mr. Ken Jones and the rest of the squad over there. I'm definitely proud, y'all guys of, the growth, pause again, of what your show is doing. So I'm definitely proud of y'all guys.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. It's funny you say that, man, because I was on our page today and I was just looking back, going back to the old shows and you know what I mean, man, we definitely on a rise, you know what I'm saying? Ken work hard, man. He definitely trying to, become something, on a comedic level, poetry level, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, man, he definitely striving, you know what I'm saying, to be one of the ones. You know what I'm saying? I'm just blessed to be a part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Y'all know me, you know what I'm saying? I'm zone, you know what I mean? And I ain't trying to say I ain't nobody, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but for him to bring me along, man, you know what I'm saying? And we've come this far. And we definitely got more heights, you know what I'm saying? Definitely more of a vision, man, you know what I'm saying? To do big and better things, man. We have World Cafe Live, man. That's a pretty big deal to me. You know what I'm saying, from the venues that we've had, and like I said, where we at now, man. Some heavy hitters perform at that place, man. You got, and that budget is crazy. You know what I'm saying, to be down there and perform in that venue, man. So, shouts out to the Laughter Painting Week team. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Cat.
No problem. To all of our Instagram family, we appreciate y'all guys for being here with us as always. YouTube family, where would we be without y'all guys either? Check us next week when we talk more sports with your boys, man. We looking forward to next week. God bless every single one of y'all. Until next time, y'all guys stay safe. Hey, it's Valentine's Day, as Joel said. Take advantage. Hey, the QR code's right there. Before I go and say anything, the QR code is, where's that? There you go. Something like
Yep.
that. Anyway, it's there.
Promo's live. Promo's live. I just put it in
live.
20% off from February 11th through the 22nd. So go in there. 20% off.
Tubsky. That means you get two things. You get two things.
Yourself a GNT shirt, GNT mugs. Get that black and white GNT coat that I can't get yet, but go ahead and get that coat.
Let's get two of them, Larry.
I just can't get it right now. I just can't get it. It don't. The sizes just don't like me, but I'm getting there. So,
ain't gonna let that coat go, bro.
Bro, that thing hot. Like yo, and I ain't talking about like the heat when it's on. No, that thing fire. So look, y'all gonna see that jacket on me one day. But look, once again, God bless you, every single one of y'all. Until next time, the GNT crew, we are out. Peace.